Hey, how's it going my super friends? I am Memo Acebo, thanks for watching the vid. This is a video praising Green Lantern, specifically in the comics, specifically the Green Lantern, Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps series. But I'm gonna be talking about everything revolving this universe, this Emerald universe, saying why I loved this series in 2017 and why it's just killing the game, man. It's so cool, you should be reading this stuff. Really quick, if you're new to the channel and you like Marvel Comics, DC and Star Wars, subscribe, my man. I talk about comic books a lot, superhero stuff and Star Wars, so if you like that, subscribe. Click on the little bell icon so you get notifications and you never miss my videos. So yeah man, Jeff Johns and Peter Tomasi, they wrote the series as if it were a space odyssey for 9 years, starting back in 2005. And once Johns left, it took a while for the books to get the horse on the horse again, to get their footing again. But now, dude, it's fucking crazy. Now, these Emerald Knights are awesome. It's so super fun to read these books. The Green Lanterns are just doing crazy shit, exploring the impossible in new adventures. There's character depth, amazing feats that you gotta see to believe. It's just amazing stuff in the Green Lantern books. And yes, spoilers ahead. If you want to go in not knowing anything, just go and read the books, come back to my video. But if you don't care, I'm just gonna be talking about spoilers in those books. One of the biggest things done in the books recently was make the first Green Lantern a black alien woman. It was a hot topic of discussion for a lot of fans. Extensive lore of the Green Lanterns, a lot of like almost 60 years, and the fictional story spans billions of years. 10 billion years ago, when the Guardians were under the threat, there were 7 individuals that were granted the power of this newly created Green Lantern ring, and the first of these 7 was Aletha, from the planet Galactica of the Third World. And man, it's just a super awesome cast consisting of aliens from different planets. It's a big thing, making the first Green Lantern a black alien woman. It's just a powerful message, really cool stuff, and it made people talk, for good or bad stuff. The rookies of the year is Simon Bass and Jessica Cruz, man. Even though you can't get tired of John Stewart, Hal Jordan, Kyle Rayner and Guy Gardner protecting Earth, I think it's safe to say there are more adventures for them to be had in space as veterans of the Green. So who does that leave to protect our Earth, Space Sector 2814? Well, Cruz and Bass. This series is like a buddy cop film. Cruz and Bass exemplify the dynamic and just take it further. They're pretty much family and beyond just a partner dynamic. Again with diversity here, but it's awesome diversity, I really like it. People of color, they're not the typical Green Lanterns, and Simon Bass has abilities we've almost never seen or rarely seen in Green Lantern mythos, like the Emerald Sight. Cruz, after surviving a mob encounter, is left with agoraphobia, so she has social anxiety and fears that she has to combat daily as she flies into this molten lava to stop a planet from exploding. These guys are not cookie cutter lanterns right here. Cruz and Bass's inside jokes, dynamic and support of one another, it makes it a joy to watch as they grow into seasoned veterans. This guy is one crazy mofo, man. Guy Gardner is the toughest Green Lantern. Just, you can't debate that. It isn't a question, it's a statement. In his debut, he's the 80s anti-hero type. One punch from Batman knocked him out, yes, and it put him in his place. That shit has haunted his reputation for years. But Guy finally overcame that event and can no longer be defined by it. He's John Stewart's right hand. Guy's friendship, loyalty and belief in Stewart and the Corps is why he takes things onto himself in order to protect them both. This awesome sequence that I loved. Guy goes against the toughest member of the Sinestro Corps, which is Arkillo. Without the use of the power rings, they were there to like broker a truce. Really powerful stuff. Guy explains to Ark that he's just as loyal to the Sinestro Corps as Guy is to the Green Lanterns, and the only answer is for the two biggest dogs in this yard to fight it out, and whoever isn't left standing falls in line. Shit, dude, you've never seen something like this. Like this fight in the DC universe to this degree. John Stewart and Soranik arrive and John prevents Soranik from interfering because he understands Guy. This is Guy's way, his fight, and it has to end on his terms. Robert Vendetti and Rafa Sandoval deliver the brutal fight, the most brutal fight in Green Lantern and DC Comics history, but it also has a lot of depth. Look at this shit, man, either bury me or do nothing at all. The emotional and the physical brutality of this encounter is iconic, incredible to witness. The entire time he's getting the life beat out of him and dishing it back, Guy is remembering the physical abuse he suffered from his father. That was holy shit, it got me on the edge of my seat, man. Once Arkillo has him on the brink, Guy becomes this pit bull the likes of which we've never seen before. He visually attacks Arkilo, but the memory of his father's abuse as well. And man, you have to respect this man's journey from trope to joke to a problem you never want to face. And yes, the story could have ended with more violence, but it doesn't. Guy visits this comatose Arkilo and apologizes for reaching that far down. It brings them together as partners through this mutual respect, like tough guys. And yeah, I get you, man. It also shows us how far Guy Gardner's loyalty goes for who and what he believes in. Super powerful stuff, man. I said amazing feats were coming, and this is some crazy shit, man. These guys have apparently has no limits on speed or anything. We know that the Green Lantern's ring is capable of doing the impossible, like literally. The only limits it has are the user's willpower and imagination. And of course, this means that as a Green Lantern, you have to test yourself, go to the edge of those limits and try to break free or go over. In this mission, Hal Jordan is tasked with catching up to Highfather, who is being transported by the fastest new god, Light Ray. Jordan constructs this jet, he's a pilot of course, to catch up to Light Ray, but the speed he tries to reach is so much, it's too great. Jordan is literally flying himself apart. And yeah, man, I know it's mainstream or the popular answer, but I do think Jordan is the greatest Green Lantern, man. He just said, hey, fuck this, and he pushed himself and his ring beyond its physical limits of reality. Dude, the Jordan's ring said it was approaching a possibility of Speed Force singularity. The Speed Force, that's what gives the Flash and the other speedsters their speed. Jordan pushed himself damn near into a Speed Force black hole beyond physics. Holy shit, it's a small moment, but in the grand scheme, we've never seen a Green Lantern do that before. This is right up there with John Stewart recreating Zhanshi while his ring told him the willpower was exceeding the ring's limit. Also, Sinestro saying he broke his power ring twice. I mean, you gotta respect this feat from Hal. Conquering the impossible and unexpected is what makes reading a Green Lantern's book so fucking exciting. I love it. I talk about character depth or development. Well, there's been a plethora of character growth in Green Lantern that doesn't lead characters down traditional paths. We've seen Soranik Natu go through her own arc, where she stands out as a doctor in the Corps and goes through a much needed transformation. But now, by herself and head of the Sinestro Corps, we see Soranik make her own decisions. Soranik has a new purpose in repositioning the reputation of the Sinestro Corps and even bartering peace with the GLC. But things turn around, lies of omission, she makes choices that are extreme, but justified. Soranik isn't the same woman she was when she joined the GLC or when she was under Sinestro. She is her own character now. She shows some mannerisms from her dad, but she is a person of interest for the GLC now. One of the most beautiful sequences in the book was the Emerald Space. You know, like Norse mythology, Thor and shit. When their warriors fall, they go to Valhalla. Valhalla is the heaven for only the best, the finest, the bravest warriors. Imagine that, but in Green Lantern style. It was a big surprise that they had their own version of Valhalla called the Emerald Space. It was created by Vendetti and drawn by Ed Benz. This, man, was so moving. How Jordan just blew himself up to take out Sinestro and his army, and he wakes in this strange land and is greeted in death by the same man that would tie his life with the GLC in the first place, Abin Sur. It was crazy seeing all these lanterns that were killed in action or died. Hal is in the presence of legends and old colleagues. We get to see Katma Tui. Katma trained John Stewart. She's got one of the most legendary and iconic tales in the recruitment drive for new lanterns. She goes up to Hal asking about her still living husband. John Stewart is so touching, and Hal is just granted more time with Abin Sur. Seeing how proud Abin is of him as a successor just pulls Hal back to the land of the living. Accountability, one of the biggest topics in superhero life, or superheroes, I don't know. The Green Lanterns, we know they serve as a police force of space. There's 3,600 sections of space, each monitored by 2 lanterns. Used to be 1 from that sector. We know that the Lantern Rings, they were not allowed to use lethal force. It changed during the Sinestro Corps War. They could kill, and now people that kill, like Sinestro, he used to be the only one, but now Lyra Omoto killed Amon Sur. She was a legendary lantern that succumbed to the anger and became the executioner. Of course, she had to be held accountable for it. Tomar 2 does the same thing, the son of the legendary lantern Tomar Ray. Tomar 2 killed a surrendering Romat Ru, who murdered his fellow Zondarians, including children, with no remorse. And he said that he wanted to do it again. He could do it again. Tomar 2 just fucked them up, man. And it's I understand it. Anger, breaking the law, that is heartbreaking. Awesome writing from Robert Bendetti, and the art from Ethan Van Sciver is just amazing. I know it's a fictitious police force. There are numerous times of reform and always holding all the members accountable. It's just so cool to see, like legit stuff. And more recently, the 4 Horsemen, the 4 core members. This shit needs its own theme music, man. Kyle Rayner, watching him with Hal Jordan, the greatest Lantern, is just so fitting. John Stewart and his right-hand guy, Gardner, the pit bull of the Corps, it just makes sense. These 4 friends are super close, closer than they have ever been before. Everyone has a bigger role now. It's no longer Hal Jordan and the band, even though the comic it's called Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, but never mind. These 4 are amazing, an amazing team, cohesive units in the GOC. They know who to turn to for leadership, which is Stewart. Their trust in one another is just endearing, and we can see that they're all truly equal. These guys know that any mission could be the last. They are pinned down in the face of death. They're able to smile, the iconic 4-finger hand gesture of the 4 corpsmen, accepting shit. I mean, these 4 individuals are legends in their own right, but strongest together as brothers. Vast history, tales, and lore to the Green Lantern series. Just bottom line, man, all in all, nobody is fucking with this squad, man. Period. Green Lanterns, the Green Lantern books, all of them, they're just killing. The Sci-Fi game is amazing. You gotta read this shit, man. So let me know what you think of these books in the comments down below. Tell me what's up. Give me some feedback. Do you like these stories? Do you not? Are you gonna read them now after I gave it a shit ton of praise? Tell me what's up. I am Memo Sebo. If you enjoyed, please click the like button. Share the video with some friends. Check out my other videos on the channel right now. I got some cool stuff. Go browse. I'm gonna be making comic book reviews tomorrow, Wednesday. New comic book day. Wee. Follow me on my social media, Twitter, Instagram. I post a lot of shit. Get some updates about me and my videos over there. Go to Twitter. Subscribe to see more and never miss my shit. And of course, I'll see you on the next one.